my feet. I'm so tired of running from my own heat. Take this package and here's what you...
Hello and welcome to the Fisher Protocol, the show where saying the Who is the greatest rock and roll band of all time is not subjective, but everything else is. Please take a quick second to like, share, subscribe, and also hit the bell for notifications. Share us with your Who-minded friends. The Who is a passion of ours. This is more of a personal journey, and no money is made from these videos, so liking and subscribing lets us know that we are not alone in Wholand. Constructive feedback is always welcome, either in the comments below, or you can follow me as I spout Who-related content on Twitter and Instagram at Fisher Protocol. I'm Ethan. I'm being joined today by my best Who friend, Tom. Hey, Tom. We do not claim to be experts, just two guys who like to talk about the greatest rock and roll band of all time, which is The Who. Don't worry, everybody. Bets will be back very soon. We're going a bit old school today. Hey, Tom, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. What about you?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting mildly excited.
Yeah.
Because I think The Who is actually starting up in a couple weeks. Is it still New Orleans, maybe their first show? I'm not 100% sure.
I think so.
Yeah, and I have tickets, of course, to see them in Washington, D.C. with you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to Philadelphia to see them with Fisher Protocol Jr. So if anyone wants to make me look really cool in front of my son, I'll tell you where I'm sitting. You can come say hi. But, you know, I thought it was very important to come on because The Who had their first show at the Teenage Cancer Trust in England.
Yeah.
On March 26th, right?
I think so, yeah.
And there were some very, very good Samaritans that actually, God, if they were sitting next to me at the concert, I'd hate them. But if I'm not there, I love them.
Yeah.
That recorded the show on YouTube. And The Who have a very hefty tradition with Teenage Cancer Trust. In fact, Roger Daltrey took it over as the patron, and I don't know. What I looked up was 1990. It seems later than that to me, but maybe it is. And I know after like 20 years, he tried to hand it off, and that didn't work, and so he's just kept going. And it's a huge deal in England now. They raise a bunch of money every year, and they do a week of shows, and it's always kind of like a highlight. And everyone from favorites of mine to like Florence and the Machine to Paul Weller to younger bands, they have comedy nights. This year they had Madness, I think, reformed and went on the show. And Liam Gallagher was a big deal this year.
Ed Sheeran.
I like Ed Sheeran. There's a song I always sing of his, but I won't sing it now. But every time I hear his name, you know.
Yeah.
Got nothing to do with Game of Thrones. But I really, I don't understand how the knighthood works in England. But, you know, they even started a whole, TCA, Teen Cancer America, over here.
Yeah.
You know, and so when he wasn't with The Who, he was doing it, and when there was Who activity, Pete Townsend has always come, and they've always done it. And I wouldn't say there's been any really mixed results, except for maybe Tommy in 2017, but that's a whole other video and a whole other story.
Yeah.
So this started out as doing a Royal Albert Hall review of The Who in general, but I think I want to highlight this last concert, just go through it really quick, track by track, and I don't know if you watched the videos or not. You said
yes, I flipped through a lot of them. I didn't watch it minute for minute, but yeah.
Yeah, it was billed as an acoustic show. They had Jody Lynn Scott and a bunch of other brilliant musicians whose names I don't know. Simon Townsend was there, and it was billed as an acoustic set, right?
Yeah.
So they come out and they do Substitute, which is a fairly easy call. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded good. Then they did Squeeze Box. People love Squeeze Box. We've talked about it before. This was really weird because they were very jovial and talkative. It was very much like a Mighty Wind type folk experience.
Yeah, like a pub band. I mean, it was it was. You couldn't tell they were playing the Royal Albert Hall. Right,
exactly. And they weren't. I don't think they treated it as such, and that's for the better of everyone, I think.
Yes.
And all reports are that it was a great show, and when I watched it is a great show. But they did have to restart Squeeze Box, and there was some yelling about the keys. what key it was in, which I didn't know. Squeezebox could be in another key. It's in G, I think. I don't know what they're doing. They're professional musicians. I'm not. So they did The Kids All Right, which is they've been doing for a while. Again, it had to be restarted. And I'll just say this, the thing I think we like about The Who is that they're not perfect, right?
Yeah.
And for them just to come out and say, hey, we got to restart this because, and there's like jabs towards each other about, I showed you the key, no, you didn't, whatever. And they said they only rehearsed 2 hours, right? I feel like I feel like that's a play up a little bit. I feel like they do rehearse really hard on the things that they think are going to be difficult, and the things they think they can just go through, like Squeezebox, will end up having some hiccups because they
skip over that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we know that one. We played it a couple times.
Right. Tattoo was great. It sounded awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Always a highlight. Behind Blue Eyes was really the highlight of the night for me. It had that really long accordion intro.
Yeah, I agree. I did watch that one all the way through.
And did they completely? I forget if did they take the band out completely just to sing the "Fist Crack It Open" part?
I believe so.
Yeah, I like it when they do that. It reminds me of 1994 and Roger Daltrey with the John Entwistle bass solo of Hell.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite bass solo of his. They went right into Real Good Looking Boy, or maybe they talked. I don't know. It was the first time they played it live since 2008.
Yep.
It's almost as good as that, Gotham, New York 2005 version. I think you know what I'm talking about with Roger just on guitar.
Yeah, that's an incredible one.
Yeah, that's like my favorite version of that song. Then they went into Break the News, which is a Simon Townsend written song off of Who.
Yep.
And that completely fell apart. But Roger insisted that they redo it out of respect for the song and for Simon, and that was my favorite part of the whole concert, was watching him saying it deserves respect and they should redo it, and they did.
Yeah. Also,
I know they like to release these things sometimes on DVD.
Right.
So maybe it was redone for that. Who knows? But it was redone. She Rocked My World was next. A couple songs off Who were next. She Rocked My World, which I don't like on the album, but this made me like it more.
Definitely a big surprise. It was literally the last song I got to, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And I was surprised, yeah.
I didn't want to either. I was like, She Rocked My World, but I guess that acoustic setting for it is the best setting for it.
Yes.
Beads on One String, they've turned it into a support of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked it. I like the song.
I love
anyway.
that song.
Yeah, that Yagerdang remix that they put out and made a video for. I think I like that one better than the one on the album.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was very nice. Eminence Front, which they did it weird. They did it with Roger on vocals. On paper, I should have liked this way more than I did. I didn't really care for it too much.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "How the hell are they gonna do this acoustic?" It's one of the perfect Pete Townsend playing lead song, everything about it. I was like, "Oh, cool, this could be really interesting," and I just, it didn't do anything for me.
Now, Pete has done a couple piano versions, especially on Scooped, or one of the Scoop issues, and that's really amazing. And if anyone has not, I've talked about it before, the Michael Hutchins Eminence Front, you should definitely check that out. We did Pinball Wizard, which was fairly straightforward. Who Are You? I like an acoustic Who Are You. I've always liked an acoustic Who Are You, especially when they took it over in 96, 97, started doing it with Roger on the guitar first. Yeah. But also giving the good old Who Are You stuff at the end. I've always liked anything like that. My favorite being, of course, Pete in 94 at the Daltrey Sings Townsend concert.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's incredible. The beginning of that with Pete on the guitar is one of my favorite things ever. But this was
masterful. Yeah.
This one was reminiscent of that. It was good. And for the end here, I think they're pretty much done with any mistakes or anything like that. Let My Love Open the Door with Roger singing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they did that because that Netflix movie had it on. The Adam Project, and the guy's dad's favorite song was Let My Love Open the Door. And Pete was very happy with that. So they did it, but they had Roger singing it. And I've heard Roger singing it before on his single. But
Yeah.
a great song is a great song.
First time in 33 years, I think they said.
Since 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that Pete, of course, has performed it since then.
Right.
But, yeah, who doesn't like that song? Weirdos. Next, we have Baba O'Reilly, right? This was a great night. Like, this was a great version of this, I thought.
Yeah.
And Roger back on harmonica, that made some people I know very happy.
Definitely.
It was a great version. I am very much looking forward to Katie Jacoby, though.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Yeah. And just the two guys came out at the end and did that Won't Get Fooled Again that we are so used to and in love with. I love when they both do the acoustic version myself.
Yeah, I think Roger appreciates it too, because we know that's his least favorite song to sing these days. So at least the acoustic version is different enough.
And he doesn't have to worry about that scream, which is probably a killer, right?
Yeah.
All over, it's very good concert.
Yeah.
I thought, and it made me very excited for what's to come. Like, if this was what they do when they're half-ass rehearsing, when they put a week into it, I can't wait to hear what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again though, like their mess ups or false starts or whatever, that's like why we love them too. Like, I don't go to see the Who play every song perfect every night and play it the same way. Like, that's not enjoyable. I like watching things fall apart, or that train going down the track starts to wobble a little bit, and that's enjoyable.
Yeah, that's totally a thing where I like start to jab the person next to me, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "They screwed up," and they're like, "What are you talking about?" They can't, like, a casual fan can't tell, but I can tell, and I like it.
Yeah, no, it's not that it's sloppy. It's just like they're damn near 80 years old, and they,
Yeah, right.
It's just, but I mean, I think they've always been like that too. I mean, even when I saw them, in 2005, there were still like hiccups and blips and all that stuff too, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah, and the story I was thinking of happened in 2006, so
Yeah, it just lets you know they're actually playing and they're actually up there, and they're actually human. So nice.
Pretty great. All right, guys. That's it. Just a quick review of that concert. We'll see you next time.